Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. According to a report by the Canadian press, the United States and Iran have exchanged intensifying military fire across the Persian Gulf, severely threatening an interim deal designed to end the regional war. Early on Thursday, the U.S. military launched airstrikes hitting approximately 90 targets in Iran, including missile launchers and airport runways. Iran quickly retaliated by targeting Bahrain, home to the U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet headquarters, as well as Kuwait and Qatar. The escalating violence followed remarks by U.S. President Donald Trump, who declared that the fragile interim ceasefire was over due to recent Iranian attacks on shipping vessels in the Strait of Hormuz. Trump warned that further attacks would lead to much worse retribution and threatened Iranian infrastructure, including Karg Island. In Iran, officials reported that the recent U.S. strikes have killed at least 14 people and wounded dozens more. Despite the escalating conflict, Trump stated that while negotiations could technically continue, they are likely a waste of time, casting deep uncertainty over the diplomatic efforts to secure a permanent peace agreement. According to Lianhe Xiaobao, the remains of the late Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei have arrived in his hometown, the holy city of Mashhad, where final burial rites are scheduled to take place. The aircraft carrying the coffin landed on Thursday, July 9th, following extensive funeral processions. Previously, state media reported that an official farewell ceremony for Khamenei was held in Tehran on July 3, attended by various national figures, religious leaders, and foreign officials. In response to requests from Iraqi supporters, the funeral procession also visited the Shiite holy cities of Najaf and Karbala on July 8th. The ceremonies marked the conclusion of the formal mourning process for the leader, ending with the burial in Mashhad, a site of great significance in Iran. According to a report by the Liberty Times, the Brazilian government has officially approved the deportation of a 40-year-old Russian man identified as Sergei Vladimirovich Cherkasov. The decision follows allegations from the United States that Cherkasov was a Russian military intelligence (GRAS) operative who engaged in espionage. In April 2022, Cherkasov attempted to enter the Netherlands using a fake identity as a graduate student to secure an internship at the International Criminal Court in The Hague, which was investigating Russian war crimes in Ukraine. However, his cover was blown at the airport, and he was returned to Brazil, where he was arrested and sentenced to 15 years for identity fraud. Both the U.S. and Russia had sought his extradition, citing espionage and drug charges respectively. Brazilian authorities have not disclosed the destination of his deportation. According to UPI, South Korean President Lee Jae-myung announced ahead of his state visit to Mongolia that his government will pursue a good denuclearization of the Korean peninsula while working to normalize ties with North Korea. In an interview with Mongolia's state-run Monsame news agency, Lee emphasized that Mongolia is a trusted partner and highlighted its unique diplomatic position to help bridge the divided Koreas. Mongolia has traditionally maintained close relations with both South and North Korea, as well as balanced ties with China and Russia. Lee stated that diplomatic capacity is more crucial than ever to build peace through mutual trust and dialogue rather than military force. During his visit, the first by a South Korean president to Mongolia in 15 years, Lee is scheduled to meet with Mongolian President Uknaha Kurelsuk. He expressed hope to elevate bilateral relations to a forward-looking, strategic partnership that will foster cooperation in critical minerals, supply chains, trade, healthcare, and food security. Additionally, Seoul aims to increase annual bilateral traveler numbers to 500,000 by 2030, marking the 40th anniversary of their diplomatic ties. According to UPI, China's rapidly expanding marine research fleet is establishing a significant strategic presence in the contested waters of the South China Sea and Western Pacific. Operating under the banner of civilian science, these vessels conduct research in marine biology, seabed mapping, and oceanography. However, neighboring countries including Taiwan, Vietnam, and the Philippines increasingly view these activities with skepticism. Experts suggest that the high-resolution data gathered on ocean currents, salinity, and seabed terrain possesses significant dual-use value. This information is highly beneficial not only for environmental conservation, but also for submarine operations and mapping undersea communication cables. Analysts describe this approach as a systematic gray zone strategy, allowing Beijing to normalize its presence and assert maritime claims without resorting to direct military action. Although Chinese officials maintain that their research complies with international law and supports global ocean sustainability, the lack of transparency in data sharing continues to erode trust among regional neighbors. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.